Did you know some of Hollywood's biggest stars made their way through the 4077th before they became household names? Imagine a young actor, just starting out, taking a shot on a little show called MASH, only to end up as a global sensation years later. These guest appearances weren't just fleeting cameos, they were moments that hinted at their incredible talent. Stick around to see if your favorite star once graced the screen of this iconic series. Number 20. Patrick Swayze. Before Dirty Dancing, Patrick Swayze played a soldier diagnosed with leukemia and blood brothers. His heartfelt performance hinted at the emotional depth he'd later bring to the big screen. Could anyone have guessed he'd become such a massive star? Number 19. Ron Howard. Ron Howard, now a legendary director, appeared as a Marine trying to get discharged as a conscientious objector. His role showcased his talent early on, leaving viewers impressed. Number 18. John Ritter. In his guest role, John Ritter played a soldier with psychosomatic paralysis. His mix of humor and emotion foreshadowed his later success on Three's Company. Number 17. Lawrence Fishburne. Years before The Matrix, Lawrence Fishburne had a small but impactful role in The Tooth Shall Set You Free. Playing a young soldier, Fishburne brought depth and authenticity to his character. Even in this brief appearance, you could sense his charisma and intensity. Could anyone have guessed he'd one day become Morpheus? Number 16. Shelley Long. Before Cheers turned her into a TV legend, Shelley Long donned scrubs as a nurse on MASH. Though her screen time was short, her wit and charm shone through. It's one of those moments where you pause and think, hey, is that Shelley Long? Yes, it is, and it's glorious. Number 15. Leslie Nielsen. Leslie Nielsen, famous for his comedic roles, guest starred as a court-martialed soldier in a rare serious performance. Number 14. George Wendt. Cheers star George Wendt played a Marine in Trick or Treatment. His humor hinted at the comedic timing he'd later perfect. Number 13. Andrew Dice Clay. Andrew Dice Clay appeared in the same episode as George Wendt, showing a more restrained side compared to his later edgy comedy persona. Number 12. Burt Young. Best known as Rocky Balboa's gruff brother-in-law, Burt Young played a soldier in Lend a Hand. He brought the same rugged energy to his MASH character, making him stand out in the ensemble cast. Watching this now, you can't help but smile, knowing where his career would take him. Number 11. Terry Garr. Terry Garr, a future star of Tootsie and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, appeared as a nurse in The Sniper. Her natural warmth and charm were on full display, even in a limited role. It's the kind of performance that makes you wish she had more screen time. Number 10. Ed Begley Jr. Ed Begley Jr., later known for his work on St. Elsewhere, played a soldier with anemia at MASH. His role was understated yet impactful, and it's fascinating to see such a polished performance so early in his career. Did you catch this one during your last rewatch? Number 9. Joe Pantoliano. Before becoming a fixture in gritty dramas like The Sopranos, Joe Pantoliano played a wounded soldier in Identity Crisis. His role was intense and unforgettable, foreshadowing the kind of characters he'd later master. Could anyone deliver raw emotion like Pantoliano? Number 8. Alex Karras. The football player turned actor, Alex Karras had a brief role as a Marine. Though his appearance was short-lived, Karras brought an undeniable presence to the screen. It's always fun spotting athletes making their way into Hollywood, isn't it? Number 7. Cyril O'Reilly. Cyril O'Reilly pulled off a rare feat on MASH. He played 2 different characters in 2 separate episodes. Each time he managed to leave an impression, proving he was more than just a background player. Does anyone else love spotting repeat guest stars? Number 6. James Cromwell. James Cromwell, who later starred in Babe and LA Confidential, appeared as an MP in a couple of episodes. His commanding presence was evident even then, making his scenes memorable. Watching him in these roles feels like catching a glimpse of a future powerhouse. Actor. Number 5. Bruno Kirby. Bruno Kirby, the star of When Harry Met Sally and City Slickers, guest starred as a soldier. His natural charisma shone through, adding a spark to the episode. It's one of those moments where you can't help but grin and think, of course that's Bruno Kirby. Number 4. Timothy Brown. Timothy Brown wasn't just a guest star. He had a recurring role as Spearchucker Jones. His appearances added humor and heart to the show, making him a fan favorite. Do you think he deserved more time on screen? Number 3. Tom Atkins. Horror fans might know Tom Atkins from Halloween 3 or The Fog, but he also had a role on MASH as a wounded soldier. His performance was gritty and believable, hinting at the career he'd go on to build. Was this the start of his horror legacy? Number 2. Mary Kay Place. Mary Kay Place played a male clerk on MASH before becoming a star in Mary Hartman. Even in a small role, her talent was undeniable. It's another example of MASH being a launchpad for future stars. Number 1. G.W. Bailey. Lastly, G.W. Bailey played Sergeant Luther Rizzo, a character who went from a guest role to a semi-regular. His comedic timing and larger-than-life personality made him a standout. Did you know this wasn't his only iconic role in a uniform? Think Police Academy. Which of these appearances surprised you the most? Share your thoughts in the comments. And while you're at it, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. This way you'll never miss another deep dive into the hidden gems of classic television. Let's keep the conversation going.